Hi everyone, welcome. If you're new here, I'm so happy to have you. If you're my patrons and subscribers, welcome my little astronauts. Please do me a favor if you can. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. And don't forget to comment in the description what you think about this video. As you see here on the screen right now, only 33.5% of my YouTube content that I make here on the channel is only being recommended. If you start showing some sort of engagement, it will start to be able to help us reach a larger audience. So if you would like to subscribe, hit the bell icon, and don't forget to like this video, it will help me tremendously, and it will help us tremendously. So thank you for all that you guys do. I love each and every single one of you, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Bye. Hi, everyone. Welcome. If you're new here, I'm so happy to have you. And if you're my previous subscribers, welcome, my little astronauts. So for today's video, we're going to be talking about the big lie and the potential future that it will have on the United States, along with whatever come to mind that my guys want to give me. This is probably going to end up being a part 1 of this video. So if you would like me to do more of a continuation of this video, just let me know in the comment section below. Quickly before we do begin, I've been having some problems with trying to figure out what design I should put on the table next. So if you would kindly like to let me know in the comment section below what you guys prefer, let me know. Alright, moving on. I recently went shopping at a store called Artichoke, and I got this beautiful pendulum. Let me see if I can get this into focus. Why is this not focusing? I apologize, now it's focused. And the pendulum doesn't want to be called pendulum, it wants to be called spacey. So I'll often be referring to the pendulum as spacey. Another thing that I got when I was there was I got this very gorgeous and beautiful bracelet. And it brings good luck and fortune. You can see here's a little bit of dragons. And that's really it. And also, I printed out a little cheat. I made a little cheat sheet for the pendulum so we can work on it as well. Alright, let's begin. So let's talk about the big lie and what we need to know about the big lie today. Alright, so that card fell down. What other messages do we need to know about the big lie, spirits and angels? Tell me. What do we need to know about the big lie? Now, please keep in mind this is just for entertainment purposes only, and I'm not endorsing the big lie. Now, please also know that if you guys are interested in booking a reading with me, you guys can check the description below if you are interested, of course, along with other information. Alright, so spirits and angels, tell me, what do we need to know about the big lie? Okay. So I'm just going to kind of leave it the way ever my guys want to put it, and then we'll start from there. Ooh, I hope that didn't go right in the fire. Alright. Move that here. What else do we need to know about the big lie? Is there a final outcome card for this? Thank you. Alright, so my guys kind of put this strangely put, but you kind of get the idea, right? So we have the 10 of Swords, if I can counted correctly. I don't know, I haven't done math in a while. And it's the person laying on their back. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I hope you didn't hear that. And there's a person laying on their back who talks about betrayal and stuff like that. What I'm sensing here is that Joe Biden really didn't anticipate that Trump was going to have as much of an effect in terms of the big lie than he initially anticipated. You have the Ace of Wands. This is what led to Donald Trump's first impeachment. The second impeachment is the big lie and big push that the election was a fraud and that he won and not Joe Biden. And that cross is slightly on a 45-degree angle. What's telling me this is 45, the former president. We have here as well as the refusal to accept his concession or refusal to believe that he lost the election. So that will be Donald Trump. The card that follows here is that there was no peaceful transfer of power with the big lie. The goal with Donald Trump and the big lie here is what I'm sensing a lot of you guys who followed me for a long time you may have remembered this. That this is the Democratic Party and this is the independents or the voters. And the Democrats making the deal with the popular vote. It's being challenged that Biden was supposed to win by a bigger margin. I think that's something that all of us can agree on. But the reason why he didn't was because Donald Trump knew how to tap into the base of fear, and it made all these independents that the Democrats would have won go to the Republican Party. That's why the election was so tight. The card that followed after that is the Five of Cups, but it's in reverse, which tells me this is all about a lost card, but it's reversed, which tells me that the not admitting defeat from the Republican Party. The GOP is not admitting defeat, and in the end, the people who were supporting the Republican Party and the GOP were unable to let go and know that their candidate lost. They're still not recovered from it, and I would not be surprised if they got PTSD or some sort of trauma from the abuse that they were getting or the gaslighting that Donald Trump has been doing to them. Let's see what other information that we can gather about this. What are the dangers of the big lie? Of Donald Trump pushing the big lie? What is the danger of the GOP pushing this big lie? What do we need to know, Spirits and Angels? Tell me. What are the dangers of the big lie? And final outcome? Thank you. Okay, so we have here, and I'm going to read like that, just only because my guys probably want me to read it like that. Do you want me to read it like that? Put it the way I found it? Okay, that's what we're going to do. Sorry about that, guys. So we have here is we have the election, right? It was supposed to be one election where, yes, okay, we have a third party, we have a GOP or both Democrats, and here we have the winner, right? There's always going to be one winner. But in the 2020 presidential election, that was being challenged by Donald Trump's big lie. The card that comes and follows after this is judgment, right? Impeachment. This is my impeachment card. This is also my COVID-19 card. So the thing that was supposed to happen, that we were supposed to experience this under the COVID-19 pandemic, to awaken a lot of people, right? But what I'm also sensing here as well is that this plus card talked about ambulance healthcare. It's supposed to push us towards an agreement of all about humanity, helping raise the vibration of humanity. And what also, it's funny enough, and I'm also seeing here as well, this is Marjorie Taylor Greene. And I would not be surprised, I believe this is the flag for Georgia, but I could be wrong. I'm sensing here that by pushing the big lie, a lot of those people who believe the big lie truly believe that Trump is their Lord and Savior. Like, he is there to get rid of the system, but they often forget that he is part of the system. The card that follows is that they say that Donald Trump is a big businessman and that he works very hard and that he was very successful. That really isn't the case. A lot of what you see here on here, all his bankruptcies. The card that follows here, outcome, is the final endpoint game, is that he lost the election, right? Now, I would normally say this is the leader in the throne, and he is in power right now. He currently won. But in this case, it's reversed. And a lot of you guys who have been with me for a long time, you all remember, you may have known this, but this is my conservative card for Mike Pence, but also my card for the GOP as well. And so the fact that this is here in reverse tells you a lot about the culture of the 2020 election. And the big lie is that a lot of conservatives were very turned off by Donald Trump's rhetoric, at least the ones in the right places, like Arizona and Georgia. So that is what I'm sensing in terms of the big lie. It's not really anything big and shocking just yet. So I am going to move on to the next deck. I'm just going to edit this little piece out, and I'll see you guys in a moment. I would like to know right now is what are the dangers of continuing the big lie? What do we need to know? Okay, so this was reverse. What are the dangers, Spirits and Angels, of continuing the big lie going forward? What are the dangers of continuing the big lie? Okay. What are the dangers of continuing the big lie? What are the dangers of continuing the big lie? Okay, thank you. What else? There's a lot of decisions here, I'd say that. Final outcome? Okay, thank you. I was just thinking about this card, actually, funny enough. Alright, so we have here is we have a multitude of different decks. So let's take a look. Alright. So the first card that came out was this. This is my election card, right? A lot of you guys know this is the determination between two presidential potential candidates, between Joe Biden or Donald Trump. right? It's reversed. What's telling me to continue in the big line of dangers is that a lot of people won't be able to go out and vote. Or it also talked about here is that it actually is a sort of an engagement for the GOP to take back what was rightfully theirs. That type of attitude. We have here as well is the card that followed with the Two of Wands, with them overlooking overseas. And it looks to them as America is unstable going forward. If this continues, and in terms of the big lie continuing going forward, it will look and make America appear as if it's unstable and unable to defend itself and control its people within its own borders, which makes it an easy target. The card that also followed after that, I believe it's a death card, but doesn't matter what order I am going in. We have the death card. We talked about the death of democracy, right? What the GOP and what they're trying to do here is cause anarchy. They're trying to cause anarchy within the United States and make it what we call the Middle East in most cases, because that's what in American propaganda. But they were trying to make the United States an unstable region, is how they were. This is how they will word it. And we have here Democrats here. We're talking about the democracy, the sense of democracy, representing the populace. They want the death of it. But this is also about the rebirthation of America, the reformation. And the card that follows here is the Empress, right? We voted on November 3rd. The Empress card. And you want to know why this is so significant? Because when I saw the card, I automatically thought Russia. So, by everything that's going on right now in America, and if it continues, it makes it more prone to Russian interference and more prone to Russian election fraud and potentially a Russian invasion going forward. The card that also follows on top of the Two of Wands, these all happen to be in reverse and happen to be two. Two of these, Two of Pentacles, Two of Wands, and Two of Swords. That's very significant. Right? It's the inability for America to make a decision. It feels like as if America stopped going forward. The card that also here we have the Two of Swords, which means that America cannot allow it to continue. If we can allow it to continue, we're going to end up destroying ourselves and we will be to blame for it. On the right side here, we have the Star card. And I was thinking about this. I'm like, oh, I haven't seen the Star card yet. The Star card is so significant here because it talks about the ability for luck. You see, this is a woman, but I've seen Trump here. He was the former president, right? And he has blonde hair. Now, I never really saw this before. But what I'm seeing here is that Donald Trump is taking money or something from the poor people and putting it into the rich people. They have enough water, right? So why are you pouring water into something where there's a lot of it, but very little in a place where there is not much of it? What Donald Trump is doing is he is trying to drain the people of his own wealth and own importance and put it into places where it already has an importance and it doesn't need more of it. Right? And that's very significant here because we have the Star card, and this normally represents American democracy. What Donald Trump has done is he had corrupted and has shown the GOP and the people around the world that you can corrupt your own government in the way that Donald Trump has. But Donald Trump wasn't the making. He didn't make himself. The government did. The government knew the capability of this happening. It just chose not to fix them. And that, my friend, is how Donald Trump was made. The card that follows is some sort of victory. I don't know exactly what this means because we're talking about the dangers of continuing the big lie. So I want to know next, my guys right now, is another potential January 6th going to happen? Just hypothetically, let's take a look. Well, potential another January 6th happening, Spirit name, so tell me. One more card. Give me a yes or a no. Thank you. Okay, so I hope you can see the cards. You can. Alright, so the first card here is we have the Queen of Wands in reverse. Now, this is talking about a spiritual warfare. So what America is undergoing right now with a spiritual warfare, and that is why the big lie is being continued. But what it's trying to do is trying to make people question something that wasn't really there, right? Back to the spirituality part. It's the part of trying to get people to be distracted and to realize that the only way that they can make Trump president is by following the ideology that they want to put forward, the agenda that the government or the people in charge or people who don't have your best interests in mind want you to follow. The card that comes after that is the Ace of Pentacles, and it's talking about being fed information, being false fed information, right? We have the big coin here. This is the biggest coin of any card in the deck. And the reason why it's so significant is that this is known as the big lie. It's the biggest lie ever told. And the last time this had happened in any sort of country's history was in 1920 when Hitler rose to power and tried to overtake the government in Germany in 1920, believe it or not, and failed, but later rose to power 10 years later. And as you know the rest of the story. So the reason why this is so significant here is that it's the big lie. It's the biggest one America will have to face. It's the biggest problem. And I asked, will there be another January 6th? It's a plan in the making. There's a potentiality. Look at all these little sprouts growing. Right, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's so significant here. Here we could potentially see one in 5 days. We could see it in 5 months. We could see it in 5 years. But there's one in the making, and there's one in the plan to take back the next government. But you also need to realize that, the Mayan coup, right? The coup that happened, I think, somewhere in Asia recently. A lot of you guys didn't pay attention to it, but it was so important because your country, our country, could have ended up just like that. The only reason why you didn't pay attention was because it was failed. It was a failed attempted coup, but it could have been successful. So, the next time you think something is not worth listening to or worth watching, just think twice. Believe me, you might want to think double twice about what you're thinking about. The last question I would like to ask for today is, how do we stop the big lie? So let's take a look. Now, please keep in mind this is just for entertainment purposes only. How do we stop the big lie, spirits and angels? Tell me. Okay. We're going to leave it the way my guys picked it out. How do we stop the big lie, spirits and angels? Tell me. How do we stop the big lie? Okay, and the final card. I look like a positive outcome. Let's read the rest of the cards. Okay, interesting. Alright. Spirits and angels, tell me, how do we stop the continuation of the big lie? Well, they're talking to me right now, so it's funny. Alright, so we have the Hangman in reverse. Now, a lot of you guys may have known or remembered, but this is the card for the white supremacy card, right? In reverse, the white supremacy. Hanging people upside down for a belief that isn't really there. It's not superior. Just because you believe you're better than someone doesn't necessarily mean you're better than that person, right? No one is better than anyone. The only thing you have to be is better than yourself, to be better than you were yesterday. What you also may have also remembered is that since the card is reversed, it talked about here is the awakening within the mind, the awakening of the subconsciousness. That is the challenge. That is what needs to happen in order to get rid of the big lie. People need to become awake. The challenge is the world. But this is not just a phenomenon going on just only in the United States. This has to be on a global scale. We have to awaken as people to get rid of the big lie and get rid of all the lies, right? I'm sure the United States is not the only one with an opponent that had previously lost who is doubting the election results, right? This goes for all countries from all places, not just Trump. We have here the Page of Wands, right? We have the card when you talked about the Capitol riot. But it's reversed, which tells you that the way that we stop the Capitol riot is we have here is coming together and staying united and say, take these people's stories away and say, enough is enough. You've done enough damage. Whether that means taking those people, social media away or social media platforms so they can't access it, shutting down websites where they advocate for this stuff, potentially gun control, whatever it is and whatever it means necessary it is to get rid of this kind of negative connotation, negative behavior, that's what you need to do. But a lot of people are going to fight back. They're going to think that this is the government way of trying to suppress them. But quite actually, it's quite the reverse. The American people right now are undergoing a change in mindset, a change in consciousness. The old want to keep the old because it's comforting, But the new want to change the way how we live for the better of humanity. You should want what's better for humanity, not what's better for you. That's superiority. A lot of these people are upset right now, right? They're trying to hold on to every little bit that they could, every little thing that they could remember. That I grew up in this world, having so much, and it's all being taken away from me. A lot of the problems that we experience in this world and why the big lie has happened in the first place was a lot of people in the media, it's part of the media's issue, the media for blame for this to begin with, is that they have been pushing the narrative that these people have been given so much that all of it's being taken away for right reasons. Because they've been given so much because of the superiority complex. And so as we start to age and as we start to get better and become a higher vibrating collective, we're all going to start to be able to have a reason to celebrate. We're going to be in union with one another. 3 different races, Asian, Black, Caucasian, and all the races. We'll all be in union together. That is the final end goal. That is the game. The big lie will continue until we reach this point in consciousness. So that, my friends, is how you get rid of the big lie. I love you, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. Don't forget to check out my other videos as well. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.